Hey everybody, Barantos here. So I want to make a video about knife sharpening because it's something that I've gotten into because dull knives piss me off exponentially. So I'm not great at knife sharpening, I would say. These tools help me get through sharpening knives to give me a really amazing edge. If you're new to knife sharpening and you don't have like your own bench grinding stones or whole system like that, and you don't want to, do it manually, these are two options that we can go over, and I want to go through these as well as bring some points up. So one, if you're really into knife sharpening or you really want to get into it, before you spend a ton of money on like big sharpening systems, some of them can cost, like the big wheels and everything like that can cost like $400. So what you're looking at with this is an $89 sharpener here. This is about a $139 sharpener here. So these are both from Work Sharp. They've got a pretty good foothold in knife and tool sharpening. They sell a bunch of little manual handheld ones that do a decent job. But these are pretty popular sharpening systems, so I wanted to walk through them. So this is the original knife and tool sharpener from Work Sharp. They have since come out with a version 2, but it has a few changes, and I'll go over those. What this is this offers you the ability to sharpen at 20 and 25 degrees with different guards. And this version only has one speed. It's full on. You can't adjust it. The new version has two different speeds, but it's not like you can adjust those. You just have an option, probably a high or a low, things along those lines. It also has a guide system more like this one instead of this plastic guide. I actually really enjoy this guide, so I'm not sure why they did away with it. But this is a good option if you don't have to. Ooh, excuse me. It's cold that I yawn. This is a good option if you don't have to sharpen like Asian knives that require like 15-degree edges on them, because this only offers you to sharpen in 20 and 25 with the guides. So you're looking at your basic American kitchen knives and maybe your hunting knives is what you're looking at. The other thing is with this one is you can take this guide off and you can rotate this, and you can use that to sharpen tools. So things like axes, garden tools, anything like that you'd want to sharpen. This becomes kind of like a handheld sharpener like this that you can move around without the guard. And let me see if I can rotate this. Yep, I'll take care of this now. So you can rotate that, take this guard off like so, and then use this to place on the edges and sharpen and grind. So it gives you the option of taking that and using it on tools rather than just knives. Whereas this one is kind of stationary where it's at. So if you see yourself having to sharpen axes, tools, garden stuff, anything like that, this is probably your option to go with as far as things. If you see yourself having to sharpen Asian knives, this is going to be your option to go with. So like I said, I like the guard on this. I don't know why they got rid of it. It only has one speed on this version. It just goes high. It's got a smaller belt system, you can see, a little width-wise than this does. However, the extra fine belts, like this purple one you see here, is what this uses to do extra fine. So the belts on this system only go to fine, where this one has the extra fine belts as like their last step, and it fits both of those. I guess the other thing that I would say, if you look at this one, so I'll get this into the shot here. This has an adjustable angle. So you can go from everything from 15 to 30 degree edges on things. 30 degree would be that very kind of stout edge, like if you're going to be camping, survival, and you need to baton things, you need, kind of big chopping tool, maybe a garden machete, something along those lines. That would be your 30 degree. And then 15 degree is going to be like your Asian knives for like very, very fine, thin edges. But, you know, one of the things you want to remember is the smaller angle on your edge, the quicker it will wear down. So you can achieve, you know, this will, when it's first sharpened, this 15 degree one will feel sharper than a 20 degree edge. However, it will wear quicker than a 20 degree edge. So sometimes it's about finding that sweet spot of what you're looking to do with it, as well as what's the native edge to that, you know, blade already. The Ken Onion one, the Ken Onion Work Sharp here with the adjustable, you can see it's got a guide system here. To change the belts, you basically turn this guide and this pushes up to give the belt some slack, and you can slide it on. To change the belts on this one, it's got kind of a spring system here that you pull down, and then you can turn this wheel to the side, and then the belts can get slack in them, and you can change those out. So belt changing on both these is pretty easy. This one actually has something too to adjust it so that the belts, this wheel is kind of in the middle of the belt and that it's running flush with everything, because you don't want it to run one side or the other, you know. This one, it just pretty much runs flush. It's got things here that hold it in spot. You don't need to adjust it or anything like that. You just need to, you know, put the guide on. The other thing I would say is this one, instead of offering a tool option, it offers a scissor option here. So you can see what you're supposed to do is put one side of the scissor in here, get it against this, boom, you got sharpened scissors. The other thing this has, as you can see under here, this is a speed adjustment. So what you do is you can adjust your speed. When it's on, you pull the trigger to start it. And then there's a button over here to lock it. So you see that? Locks it in place until you're ready. So you have the option of going full manual and holding this, or locking it in place. This here, you can see this button. It's just on or off. Or there's an option here to go manual with it whenever you press it, or if you flip it this way, it just auto stays on. So two good options. Like I said, this one's about $89. This one's about $139. The belts are probably going to be about the same to find. You can find them on Amazon. I think for this one, they may be cheaper because they're a little bit width-wise. They're less. They also, you know, with less surface area, they're going to wear a little bit quicker than the other ones. There's also like some aftermarket belts, so you can find other companies that make belts for these. Be careful when you buy aftermarket. You don't want something that's not as fine or it's too coarse or something like that. You're removing a bunch of metal each time. So that's one of the benefits with this and the adjustable speed is you can go a little slower, potentially on like the coarse grit, and then control how much metal you're taking off a little bit better than if you put coarse grit on this and you go to town on something. So overall, if I'm sharpening knives, I feel like this one goes a little bit quicker because you don't have to adjust the belts. But if I'm having an off day or something like that, I feel like the guide works better on this. And plus this has a tool option. So depending on what you're doing with it, is going to determine probably which one you're going to buy. If you're just doing like pocket knives, hunting knives, kitchen knives, I would go with this. If you're going to sharpen tools and garden things, you know, anything that you want to edge on that's like blunt, go with this. So, all right, if you have any questions about these, please feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Take care.